So before we can look at how the Modelica code is implemented, we have to check how we can install BESMod. And this is fairly quickly. Basically, to install, you need Git and Python, both of which are currently standard for researchers. Then you have to clone the repository. You have to install the dependencies. The easiest option is to just say, I want to Python install dependencies full. So I will install all optional dependencies. But if you have limited space on your device, you can also specify optional dependencies to install and leave others out. So for example, the buildings library is 1 GB alone. So it's a really big library, but we only use it in 2 or 3 modules. The AXlib, I guess, is used in all examples currently. So you kind of have to install it or build new examples which don't use the AXlib. And you can also specify further options like where these libraries are installed and where you are going to work and save your simulation results. And afterwards, you can just double-click the startup MOS script, which is generated. And I will quickly show this and go to a prompt. I hope that you should still see the screen. If not, please interrupt. And you can just start by cloning BESMod. This is really quickly done. Then you have to cd into BESMod and then say, okay, I want to install all the dependencies. And this now may take some time depending on your device and your internet connection, because ibipsa is really small. AXlib is roughly 150 megabytes. But the buildings library, for example, has a lot of results and resources. So it takes some time depending on your internet connection speed. While this is installing, I will already move back to the slides part and ask if there are any questions on the installation part of BESMod. This also does not seem to be the case. Then before switching to the next part, I will quickly show on how the repository is built up. So you have BESMod, and this bin folder is for continuous integration. This will move to another repository in the next weeks. Then we have the standard git ignore, CI, YAML, and so forth. And all the dependencies are listed in this JSON file. And in this JSON file, let's see if it works. Yeah, correct screen. We specify, okay, we have a required dependency, specify which URL is used, which commit hash we refer to, and then which is the default branch if we want to pull new changes. And so by this configuration, we can specify on which commit we want to work on with the different libraries. You will most probably never change this, only if you kind of develop new features which interact with the libraries, you would have to change this. So, and while I was working, the installation was finished. So we cloned all repositories. We have 2 new folders, which are in git ignore, so you won't commit them. You have before the 1 required dependency and 3 optional dependencies. And you have a working directory, which is currently empty. And now you can just double click startup.mos, which is automatically created for you, so you don't have to worry about dragging all different libraries into Dymola. Maybe one note on versioning and tools. This tutorial is built with Dymola. However, the core concepts of BESMod also work in OpenModelica. but a lot of simulations do not yet run because the base libraries are not fully compatible to OpenModelica. So as soon as they are 100% compatible, BESMod will be compatible too. In the package browser, you now see that ibipsa was loaded, axlib was loaded, buildings, building systems, and BESMod was loaded. So everything is here. And now we can actually dive into how BESMod is implemented Modelica-wise.